G'day everybody and welcome back to the Hardballgets AFL show. Today on the pod it is the teams leading into Anzac Day round. If you haven't subscribed to the podcast, please do that wherever you listen. Leave us a rating, leave us a review and tell your mates. All right, let's get stuck in. This episode is brought to you by TABtouch. Got the touch? Download the TABtouch app today. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. G'day everybody, this is a Hardballgets AFL show. My name's Nick Rynne, joined by Ryan Daniels and Xavier Ellis. You seem like you liked that read. It was a bit.
Well, you've woken up this morning. Did you get to a Anzac service this morning?
I just can't get past the strength in the conviction in the voice of Nick Rynne this morning. I did go to a service. I had just at Mount Lawley down there. It was nice, very nice.
You were spotted? You were spotted amongst the crowd?
You said that to me.
Gossip girl.
You said it was... Were you at Mount Lawley? And that makes me nervous.
A 25-year-old blonde.
I don't like you knowing where I am.
Yeah.
At all
well,
times.
you know that I just know everything. No, I don't know.
He's turned on the Find My Friends.
Yes. You didn't realise he'd been sharing. Where was Billy Brownless? Tim Watson. I think it was Tim Watson. I could be wrong. Was accidentally sharing his location with Billy, and Billy thought it was a thing that they were doing. And so on air, this must have been a couple of years ago, and I could be wrong with Tim Watson. Billy was like giving away where Tim Watson was holidaying and where his holiday house is. And they're like, Bill, how do you know that? He's like, I don't know. We share locations for some reason. I don't know. Might not have been Tim Watson, but someone of that ilk.
Oh, God.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's a great weekend, this one. Of footy. Like I love every one of the ceremonies. Give me more and more and more. Last night was fantastic.
Yeah.
The game not so much, but the pre-game was brilliant. Today's even better. It's the best.
It is great, and of course, the Anzac Day ceremony pre-game.
Yes.
MCG, spectacular.
Yep.
And I don't think it's known well enough around the other states that Fremantle do a spectacular job as well.
The Len Hall game.
Yeah, their ceremony is just as special. So looking forward to seeing both them. Of course, we'll be there live tonight to watch that. But last night's game, really quickly, let's just fire through last night's game. I think it just confirmed that Richmond are rebuilding and Melbourne is shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and to me, it's been 2 weeks in a row where Max Gawn has dragged Melbourne over the line. Like, I know Cozzy was outstanding last week, but he was the difference last night. He was the difference the week before. Like
the ability to sit him on the bench for the last 15 minutes or whatever.
He had a guts at that game as well.
Straight away, you go, your team's no good, Melbourne, when Cozzy was obviously the story last week.
Yep.
The first 4 or 5 times they went inside 50, there was Melbourne players everywhere inside 50, and they're like, no, where's Cozzy? Yep. Oh, there's Cozzy with 3 on him. Let's kick it there.
I tell you what, if you're a Freo fan, you would have watched last night and gone, now we can't get a kick. Yeah. And there was even a couple of moments where...
But Richmond had a plan to get in Cozzy's way, whereas Fremantle had zero
But
plan.
even the little things like he'd be running at the footy and the ball would bounce the wrong way, whereas last week it was the opposite. So that's just footy, isn't it? Some weeks it can go your way, some weeks it doesn't.
Some weeks it just sticks like glue to your hand, and then the others it's like every time it comes to you, it's come off Shannon Hearn's sweaty chest and it's slippery. You're like, I just want a clean footy to kick for once. I can't get a kick. Just give me a clean pill.
Shannon Hearn's sweaty chest.
Oh, no, he used to kick it and touch his jumper, and Hodgie was similar. And it'd be like wet weather football. And you're like, clean yourselves up, lads. This is a disgrace. There's some battlers out here trying to get a kick, and you're serving up this shit with a wet footy.
It's chest wet.
Oh, and then another one, because we were so pox in the wet.
West Coast or Hawthorn?
West Coast.
Yeah.
And it rained a lot more at night. It rained a lot more in games over here than what you think. I know we haven't had rain for ages, but we had a patch where we had like 4 weeks in a row where it rained.
Yeah.
And we were shit. And so Simo put all every single Sharon in this slippery, oiled up bin.
That old trick.
And then was launching him at us. And like the first ball went through Matt Prittis' hands, the safest hands in the history of AFL, smacked him right on the bridge of the nose. Imagine how I'm feeling. Who fumbles everything? Going, oh, great. I'm going to leave you with a broken cheekbone for sure.
I always love when they do that. They have a little esky and they run the ball and they get the sprinklers on. It comes. Let's go.
We like that.
Yeah, good stuff.
Yeah,
all right. Today's game is Collingwood and Essendon. We won't spend too long because by the time you're listening to this, it's probably already started. Collingwood heavy favourites, $1.25.
Yeah.
Essendon, $4. Dan Houston's in, which is massive for Collingwood.
Doesn't that 3-week suspension just feel like it was yesterday that he clocked that bloke?
Correct.
No, right.
Yeah.
And Darcy Moore is out, which is obviously a significant too. Tim Membry back into. Cole Langford returns for the Bombers, so another goal scorer.
Nice in.
Yeah, handy player.
Big Goldie.
And big Goldie to lead the ruck for the rest of the season. So
I heard Mick Barlow talking about Goldie yesterday on their podcast, and Mick was like, I think it was Zach Merritt or someone said, Goldie's not moving like a 38-year-old or however old he is. And Mick was like, he was moving like a 38-year-old when he was 18.
Yeah.
Like, he moves like an old bloke since he started.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's speaking of sweat, my memory of Goldstein is in the hub on the Gold Coast when I was there, and there was players all around the place. And I just remember this one, speaking of sweaty chests, this specific day, I was just sitting there I think I was writing a column or something, and Todd Goldstein runs past me, shirtless, tiniest pair of shorts you've ever seen, just this 7-foot giant, real pasty, and just dripping with sweat.
Would he be in the saggy, like, man boob era
No, he was lean
boob.
as. Yeah. And then he came back an hour later running back the other way.
Yeah. So he was already sweaty on the way there.
Yeah, and then he was even more sweaty on the way back. I was like,
God.
I don't run quick enough to sweat. I just All right, so we'll move on there really quickly. $3.25 Nick Dacos for the medal. You'd be silly to look elsewhere.
Oh, that's almost free.
If he plays the game, he probably would. Just you're betting on whether he gets an injury or not.
Correct.
Anyway,
votes?
We're all Collingwood.
Yes, but anything can happen on Anzac Day.
Anzac Day does throw up some interesting
Collingwood
results.
by a margin.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Fremantle and Adelaide. So this one's tonight in Perth. $1.77 the Dockers, $2.05 Adelaide. This to me is the closest game of the round. This is the toughest one to tip. I have gone backwards and forwards. I now think I do love the changes for Fremantle. So Wagner, Chapman and Narkle in, Aish, O'Meara, Banfield. They get decidedly quicker.
There's a big out
and
for
a
Adelaide.
little bit more dynamic. The big out for Adelaide is Fogarty. Rochelle is a big in though, and Peatling's actually been pretty handy for them in a role. So I think these teams are about even in terms of where they're at. I think Adelaide might win this game.
I think Adelaide come over and it's a free hit.
Yeah.
It's like the old Big Bash. You got the arm above your head, whirling it around. It's a free hit. You got nothing to lose. All the pressure's on Fremantle.
It is.
They stumble at the blocks here. I think you can put a line through Fremantle. I think their run in the next month is very hard.
Tough, isn't it?
If they can't win these at home, line through, I think. And someone was talking to me yesterday about who loves the basketball, and we're talking about all the Freo players and whatnot, and he's mad Freo. And he goes, you know what I'm starting to think? They remind me of Zach Levine.
Oh, God.
They get a lot of numbers and they look good, but does not much.
Jesus.
That's where he's at the moment.
A couple of dunk comps.
That's about it. That's about it. That's it. If Freo don't make the final, it's like they're Zach Levine.
Yeah, okay. That's fair.
Well, I think,
it looks good on paper.
Yeah.
And you go, well,
a couple of highlights.
Yeah.
But they're actually not doing much. If this game's at Adelaide Oval, like you think Adelaide almost win by 50.
Yeah, 100. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't reckon Rankin gets as far off.
Well, who's going to go there then?
Well, they got matchups now. Chapman will be, if he goes forward, it'll be Chapman.
Yeah, that's the key. You can lose them mid-play. You just swap
The
back and
interesting
forth.
space
They need
here,
another small defender.
Well,
You can't just beat Brandon Walker and then
He will slaughter Chapman.
So the interesting note here is O'Meara out, and they didn't bring back Erasmus. He hasn't played much footy in the last couple of weeks. But normally that would be the move, right? Normally you'd back that as the Fremantle move. They haven't done that. So that tells me one of two things is going to happen, or one of three things. Narkle might play some midfield time. He's been playing a bit of midfield, bit of half forward. The other one to look out for is Bolton. Does Bolton play more in the middle tonight than he has done? And the other one is Murphy Reid. So, because the strong mail is that Dudley is not going to be the sub tonight.
He shouldn't be.
He starts forward. He doesn't have a tank. That's the problem. But Murphy
Reid, he doesn't work hard.
Murphy Reid is a midfielder.
Yeah, he can stretch the field.
Who's been playing forward. So Reid and Bolton may play more in the middle tonight than they normally do.
If I was James Peatling coming back in really quickly, I'm going straight to Sarong, get the snake at the head, and just Sarong will still get 25 to 30, but if you stamp him out really quickly, who are we going?
Leaning slight Adelaide.
Yeah, I'm leaning Adelaide.
I'm going to take the $1.77 Fremantle to win tonight at home.
St Kilda and Brisbane, the Saints outsiders, $2.75. Brisbane, $1.45. This one's at Marvel on Saturday. No massive ins or outs either way. Kai Lohman actually is a pretty decent one for Brisbane. Gives them another weapon up front. Can we see Brisbane losing this game, given that they've been sort of stop-start-ish, or is St Kilda now just spiralling?
No, but the teams that have been stop-start-ish against, Brisbane will do that to them.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like St Kilda are done, stick the world's biggest fork in them. They are the slowest midfield in the world.
Yep.
Jack McRae, and I know he started the season okay, and everyone was like, you're wrong, Kane Corns.
Oh, wait, he's back.
No.
Oh, now you're off him.
The hate Jack man's back.
No.
You just had to be
It's
quiet for a month.
It's not hate. I just had to sit there till I was right, and I am right. He'd be playing in the twos at Footscray.
Here we go.
Him and Jack Steele, there is zero spread. And my bet this week in this
But if you
game,
had to pick one of those two, him or Jack Steele, who would you pick?
McRae, 100%. But I'm going to quickly go. I am heading straight to 30 disposals tonight.
Lucky deal.
No, Jack McRae. He'll get 30.
Oh, okay.
Brisbane will say, run
Go for your
around and
life.
do as you please. Go on, have 30.
Wow, he's
They never
really
tag.
You know what we need to do? We need to go back and look at all the games where he played and Jack McRae played in the same game.
Yeah, something's happened.
Something happened.
Jack
Was he-
McRae
what school did he go to?
was a fine footballer.
Yep.
A very, very good footballer.
Except for that one time.
But now,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, the numbers are fine. And I'm not the only one that sees this. The numbers are fine, but nothing really happens. And they've been getting absolutely obliterated.
What happens when, like, let's say St Kilda come over here to play West Coast or Freo, and you're walking into Optus and you happen to walk past Jack, who's underneath the ground, just walking between the change
He
rooms.
spits on him.
And he says, Dave, I've heard you. I've
Jack
heard the stuff you've been
McRae
saying.
was a spectacular footballer. Tough, accumulator,
Yeah.
premiership player,
Yeah.
and all-Australian.
Yeah.
But he's not that anymore.
So you want him to
But you
retire.
can still
Oh,
accumulate.
mate, so you reckon Michael Jordan would still be the GOAT if he played today?
he's
He's not.
Like,
How old is he?
eventually,
He's whipped out
eventually
31?
you fall off a cliff.
He's whipped out the Michael Jordan. You are
But I'm
really...
telling you, Jack McRae will get $32.40, but Brisbane will annihilate them.
Okay, so he's
Like-
going to hate watch Jack McRae
Yeah, correct.
into the
Yeah.
31 touches.
Well, he can get a little handball like that, and then nothing will happen because Jack
Did you
Steele.
see? Saw a clip on that weekend of Bill Simmons and Ryan Russillo. Russillo just wasn't paying attention to what Bill Simmons was talking about. He was talking about this movie with Michael
Yeah.
B. Jordan in it. He's
Yeah.
like, I think that's Michael Jordan's best performance. And then Russillo pops up. He's like, "Oh, what about against the Jazz? The finals against the Jazz." He's like, "Michael B. Jordan. We're talking about a movie." It's blocked out.
That's good stuff. Mike,
All right.
Port Adelaide, $1.11 against North Melbourne, who are $6.50. It's at Adelaide Oval. It's a Saturday. Is that the night game? No, it's day game. Joe Richards
$2.15 kick-off.
in. No,
Two Joes.
Travis Boak out, which is half significant. Is there any world? Is there any world that North Melbourne gets within 4 goals?
You know what I call them? Never again North. Never again North.
Could you load up for this one on Port?
No, I'm taking the line with Never again North. 38.5.
38.5.
Head start. I'll
Heading
take that.
overs.
I think also on that same pod with Mickey Barlow yesterday, I think they said they've never won at Adelaide Oval, North Melbourne.
Mate, no, there's probably 8 grounds North Melbourne have never won at.
Like, since I don't know, since they've returned to
Yeah.
Adelaide Oval,
Ever.
they just haven't won there.
It probably could be right.
It's probably right.
It's probably
It
right.
probably
isn't
would
it?
be right. Because North Melbourne, I mean,
Yeah.
Adelaide Oval's a daunting place to play.
And when did they go back there? It's been a while
Maybe
now. obviously.
2015.
It's been a while. I reckon it's been
14.
10 years.
But
just
yeah,
about.
like they've been pretty, like, they haven't had a lot of high points.
with the Crows.
No, the North
North.
Melbourne.
Neither really.
Oh, North Melbourne made prelims and
Well,
stuff
Crows
in
made
15.
a grand final.
But
Oh
yeah.
yeah, true.
Yeah.
If
And
you
then
know-
the-
North were in
then the
prelims
camp.
14, 15 times. So, like,
Yeah.
you'd think maybe that sort of patch they would have got over.
maybe
the
we
Yeah,
could
but
have.
apparently
Maybe you
not.
could have checked this stat.
No,
Yeah.
well, I didn't
No.
think about it until it just sort of rolled up then.
This might be true. It might not. They
Do they
basically
tag? Do they try and stop Butters, Rosie, or Horn
Well,
Francis? Or does Clarko go, hey, LDU, you got absolutely annihilated by Airman Hewitt. How about you try and stop someone?
go head to head with Zach.
Sheasel, you've been running around getting empty disposals, as they refer to them. You go head-to-head with Butters. And, I don't know, a half-forward, McKercher. Well, you haven't done a great deal either as a young kid. You've got Rosie.
I feel like this could be party time for the Power.
Power
I think
party.
it's the game where they've been going pretty well. They've beaten a couple of good teams.
Yeah.
They've beaten Hawthorn and Sydney, and now they go, oh, sweet, we've got an easy roadkill.
Yeah.
And they just flog North Melbourne.
Yeah, but they probably thought that with the 2 losses they had at the start of the year against the 2 absolute battlers.
that's true. So they got to.
That's why I'm taking the
They can't-
38.5 head start
They
North.
can't. Hey, you know what happened yesterday? Ben Smith works for the West.
Yeah.
Young journo coming through, and we were talking about something or other. I can't remember what it was. He was at my desk, and then he starts. He said something. You did your thing. You know, the lowers the. What was it? You raise the and you lower.
Played 12,
So-
lost 12.
So the player that's come in, I see what they've done. He certainly raises the floor, but he doesn't lift the ceiling.
He did it, but he didn't know. And I was like, "Oh, you're doing the Zave thing," and he goes, "I don't know what you're talking about." I was like, "We do this in the podcast." He doesn't listen, obviously, but he did it as if it was you.
So
It was
he's-
bizarre.
Jack McRae,
Here we go.
he's lifted the floor. He's lifted the floor, no doubt, but the ceiling has not moved a millimetre.
He's adding a lot of flavour to it now.
But so the funny thing, this came in with the West Coast recruits last year.
Yeah.
But the floor didn't move.
Well, the floor for those players moved.
But
I was right about that.
The team.
The ceiling went backwards.
GWS in Canberra against the Western Bulldogs.
Yes.
The Giants at $1.53 favourites. The Dogs outsiders
There
at
was-
$2.50. It's a night game in Canberra, so it'll be freezing cold. Big Jesse Hogan is back for the Giants. For the Bulldogs, Harms is
WA's,
back. Jed Buslinger.
Buslinger.
Yes.
Did you know he was
Oz Kicker of the Year?
Yeah, Joel Selwood's Oz Kicker of the Year.
Yeah, so I have I did a story on that, right? Where
Well,
Exclusive.
Well, I caught up with Joel last night on that.
Did you?
So
Yes.
don't one up me. I'll one up you.
So there's this. He was Oz Kicker of the Year.
Yeah.
This kid, right?
Yeah.
So there was this video that Channel 7 did with Luke Darcy
Oh,
coming
yeah,
and surprising
yeah,
him, and then I reenacted it.
Oh,
But like when he's
Would've been
17,
good TV.
it was good TV.
North Melbourne
Josh,
have-
have you got the beat button? You are the world's biggest idiot.
That might get a run tonight on the coverage too. If you're watching
North
Fremantle.
Melbourne have never won at Adelaide Oval.
There you go.
There you go. Sam Darcy, obviously the massive out for the Western Bulldogs. Sounds like that's not going to be as bad as we first
No.
thought. Went from him having his leg amputated to
Yeah.
maybe being back in a week. So
Well, and surgery regardless, and we're thinking, well, if it's
Yeah.
not an ACL, then it's pretty much equal to
Yeah.
it. You're going to miss
Yeah,
the
but
whole
now
year
he
anyway.
knows surgery and he's
No,
back in
yeah.
it.
But you just go slowly, don't you?
I know.
He's done the
it makes me nervous.
he's done the Mitch Brown.
Oh,
Everybody,
Mitch Brown.
wave off on the stretcher.
For those that have just sort of tuned in recent times, should I really quickly?
Yeah, give it.
Yeah,
So
give
but it was a derby at Subiaco Oval. Mitch Brown, Nathan Brown, Mitch Brown, the twins.
Yep.
Mitch was on Hayden Ballantyne doing a good job and went down like a bag of spuds, grabbing his knee
Yep.
down. It was like a real buckle laying there. So it took forever. The teams have dispersed into two different teams. Like, it was that a long time.
Eerie silence.
Yeah, silence around the venue. They
comes the little car.
finally got him on the golf cart and they're driving him off through Subiaco Oval and Brownie's on his back and he's waving like the king. Waving goodbye to West Coast.
I'll never play again.
Career's over.
Done.
This is it for me.
He was done. Waved off, waving to the crowd, and then went into the change rooms. He's in the shower. Jacob Brennan was in his suit in the shower, hugging him. He was. He could not.
Consoling.
Yes, mate. He was done. Like absolutely done like a dog.
No.
Had a scan. He missed 1 week with an ankle. It wasn't even his knee. It was his ankle he missed a week for. But then fast forward 12 months later, and we gave him so much shit. He actually did his ACL
But you didn't believe
and
it.
refused to get on the stretcher.
He sprinted
Carry
off.
me off.
The boy who cried ACL.
Oh, God.
What did we talk about that game at all?
Oh, not a great deal, but I think just really
That should
quickly.
be good.
What happens in Canberra? It's cold and it's a little bit miserable.
We went through it. I think the Giants' record's okay.
It is good there.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's nothing out of the box.
It's not going to be
No,
high
no.
scoring, I wouldn't have thought.
No, geez, it's just, and I say it every time, and I love those. I know Canberra's the capital city of Australia, not a country town.
Yeah.
But when they go to Lonnie and it blows its ass out in those small stadiums, they go to Ballarat and it blows its ass out. It goes to Canberra and it snows. I just give me Eddie hat on a Saturday night so I can sit
With a
inside and have
roof
a
on.
beer. I think the Giants get it done. I think the Giants minus 10.5 points at $1.88 at the line. That
Yeah.
would be where I would be heading. Don't get me wrong. I think the Dogs are fighting. I think the Dogs have been really good. I can't see Aaron Norton at all scoring enough with Buckley and Sam Taylor running rings down back.
Yeah.
Giants after last week, I'm certain that the instructions will be to move the ball forward, not sideways and backwards.
You would think so.
They'll get the ball inside 50 more. I think the Giants might get hold of them.
I have little Lockie Ash interest in this $1.66 for 25 plus.
Lockie Ash.
Mate, he is on fire.
Yeah,
He is on
he's
fire.
ripping
it.
The other thing is Lockie Ash won't earn the cash with Whitfield there.
Yeah, that's
Like
true.
his contract bargaining power, he'd
Yeah.
lose 25% with
He's,
Whitfield.
he's a goer though. We like Lockie
Yeah,
Ash.
no, he is. So who are we going really quickly? We'd see the
No,
Giants get it done.
Giants.
Giants get
As
it
you
done.
said, I don't think they can score.
Yeah.
The doggies. It'd be interesting to see what it looks like though. Gold Coast $1.45
Jeez.
favourites over the Sydney Swans. $2.75. That's at People First Stadium on the Gold Coast. No significant major ins or outs
No,
for
nothing.
either of these teams. If you'd said that at the start of the season that that's going to be the line for Gold Coast Sydney, you would have been pretty surprised.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I would have thought Sydney. I would have thought at Gold Coast it would have been $1.90 each of two.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I can't see the Suns losing that. I think the Swans have been so boring,
Average.
just average.
Does the Warner stuff give them a little?
Well, hopefully it gives him a bit of a...
Yeah,
Because
well,
he fumbled
definitely
everything and
would.
walked last
Well,
week like
yeah.
he was in a... like it was Jane Savile.
Yeah.
He looks like he's ready to give someone the finger. It's going around.
He needs to get going.
He's got to go.
He's got to
gotta
get
go
hard.
now.
But they're players now who we always put on the pedestal last year of Heaney, Warner. I know Goulden's not there.
Yep.
Are we
They were
putting
doing a
like
lot
the
of-
lizard,
Probably Blakey,
lizard, the
He's up
lizard
there.
last week? And if you look at the numbers, the lizard had 600 metres at halftime gain. He kicked 3 behinds, could not hit a target, and shanked everything. Like it was poor.
I'm always like that with the Lizard.
Yeah.
I love watching him run, but I'm always like, I don't know what's going to happen.
Well, he needed to
Yeah.
do more last week. Yeah.
You know what's a bummer for Sydney is McDonald's out again for another extended period. Amadi is not quite right either. So they're just not getting any reps into these guys, and we already think it's probably not going to work. But the only thing that could work for them is if they play enough games together.
Some
they'll figure it
continuity,
out.
yeah.
They're not getting that either. So it's still going to be Francis, McLean.
Well, Francis clear out the 50 for Francis,
what's
right?
the number of goals for Francis, do we think, this weekend?
5. I'm going to give him
Can we
5.
get on him?
What's
Can-
Francis to kick
Let's
5?
have a look.
Let's have a geek.
Let's have a look. Goal scorers.
I mean, I'm at 5. He's not even in the market.
Oh,
That's probably
kick
fair.
5.
Yeah.
So name your price.
Name your price. Name your price.
get on him.
Aaron Francis is $23 to kick 4.
He could kick 4, couldn't he?
He's kicking 4.
He's kicking 4.
What is
Yeah.
it for 3?
$8.50.
That's
Hello.
Nah, if he's getting 3, he's getting 4.
that's a big
We're
jump.
going to go 4. Aaron Francis, $23 to kick 4.
How
It's
old
his
is
forward line.
How old is Aaron Francis, you reckon?
I reckon
He'd be 30.
Yeah, 29, 30.
He's in that group of players.
27.
Whoa. Okay.
I thought it was more recent. He's a top 10 draft pick. Like, He was
Yeah.
a gun.
Yeah.
South Australian?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah. Carlton versus Geelong. This one's on Sunday.
He went to Prince Alfred College.
Yeah, PAs. It's like,
know-
it's like their top school.
You
in
know
South
what Prince
Australia.
Alfred is, right?
Yeah, I've got one.
Yeah. You got a couple? Bang, bang.
This is the one.
What's the Prince Alfred?
You know what Prince
The
Alfred
bolt
is?
through your pecker.
Yeah. It's a piercing.
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. They named a school after it.
Yeah, Prince. No, we used to play. That's. I think that it was tier 1.
Yeah, really. Tier 1 Adelaide.
Tier 1.
Yeah, well, that's
Some
a
nice
big,
schools
yeah.
in Adelaide.
Very tier 1.
Carlton Geelong, $2.50. The Blues, the Cats are $1.53. It's the MCG. Harry Mackay is back for Carlton. It says Doherty's in possible inclusion,
They
but he
said
won't
large,
play.
yeah.
Foster's
Yeah.
already ruled him out. Grant Myers is out for Geelong, of course, with concussion. That's a big out for Geelong. He is a connector. For
And
them.
none
very
of these ins or outs mean anything at Geelong.
No.
Mitch Duncan's sitting there. I know. Like, what's happening?
No, but
with
even when they
Dunks?
named the 22.
my mail on Duncan is they basically said to him, "We don't need you right now.
Yeah, now.
We want you ready for the back half of the
So
year."
you reckon he'll play?
Is he
I
playing
think in the back
twos?
half of the year, there's a role for him.
Yeah.
So he's running around the twos, just
Yeah.
keeping the motor going.
Yeah, playing a bit here or there, just staying fresh. This will be
Right.
his last season, right?
Of course,
He's
yeah.
he's someone who, if he's going, they could use his experience off halfback.
Was he
but
ever an All-Australian? Because he should have been.
Or he was-
if he wasn't.
If he wasn't, he'd be in that collection of best players
Squad.
to not make an All
Yeah, I
Australian.
reckon
Yeah, I
he
think
might
so.
be in that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
Luke-
don't
Luke-
remember him being in
Luke
there.
Shuey's in that
yeah.
in that
Luke
group.
Shuey never an
No,
All-Australian.
he should have been.
Was Sean Berger
Got
an
robbed one
Australian?
year. They have to have been. Oh no, I reckon he's the best that's never done it. Is that right?
Well, maybe he had one All-Australian. No best and
Maybe at
fairest. Or
Port.
one best and fairest, no All-Australians. One or the
It's
other.
worth it looking up.
Yeah, look, I think Geelong. I think Geelong is just a player that I want to really give a bit of love to. Who just got Tom Atkins,
Yeah, just goes.
could he be the
Sean,
most
Sean Berger won All-Australian 2006.
2006, but no best and
No,
fairest.
best
and
fair.
Hawthorn. Yeah.
He could be the most underrated player in the competition.
Tom Atkins.
Tom Atkins.
Cat's Head.
Yep. I
Yeah,
think
I do.
it's his midfield.
Yeah.
They're never beaten in the midfield.
No.
They don't have the names in the midfield.
Yeah.
He runs the show in the midfield.
Did you see the
He
clip
can-
the other day about him and Bailey Smith? About he's the one who always reels
Calms him
Bailey
down.
back in.
Yeah,
He's like the Bailey Smith whisperer. Yeah, it's good stuff.
he is.
Can we see Carlton winning this game?
Oh, you can see it. Geelong are going to have a rough one every now and then, but
No Grind?
for mine. Grind Myers is that link player, but I think they're in that. We spoke about Sydney not being in sync.
Yeah.
Geelong are in sync.
Yeah.
Like they are
Yeah.
in sync. Like they could have bent
100%.
over. They could have fallen over against Hawthorn, but they just get rinse and repeat.
Yeah. They're a machine. Hawthorn and the West Coast Eagles Sunday, Marvel Stadium. The ins, nothing massive. Jack Ginnivan, I suppose. Connor Nash is a significant
Wait, so
out.
massive ins, nothing.
Hey,
Your man.
hey, we'll get to him.
Okay.
And for the West Coast Eagles, Tom Cole, Oscar Allen, Noah Long, Sandy Brock. Harry Edwards dropped, so that's after the Peter Wright massacre. And Tim Kelly has a sore toe again.
But it's massacre after massacre.
Which
So
follows the Ben
King
King
kicked
massacre.
6, Hogan kicked 9.
Yep.
2 metre Peter kicked 6.
It's almost like Tom Barras was handy and keeping these guys
Yeah,
from kicking 10
6.
goals every week. So let's talk about my man, Henry Huswaite. So this is it for Huswaite.
What does that one account call him? The pencil.
The pencil. But he's not even in yet. Like, he may play, he may not. If he doesn't play this weekend, rule the line through Henry Huswaite because...
I think the line's through it, isn't it?
Well, no, he has been destroying it in the VFL.
Mate, I don't think the twos is that hard.
Well, all I'm saying is if he's not going to play now, he's never going to play.
fair call.
So you have Day out, and then that maybe opens a spot, but it's not for him. Then you have Nash out, that maybe opens a spot, but this has to be for him. And I don't reckon Josh Ward's been killing it.
No, he hasn't. No, he's been... Him and
okay.
even like Mackenzie was a bit quiet on
They're
the weekend.
both a similar space.
There's one man who's going to pop under the roof at Eddie at Marvel.
Dylan Moore.
No.
Who?
Jack Ginnivan.
Oh, you reckon?
yeah.
I lost... You know when Ginnivan was traded, everyone was a bit like, shit, I don't know if Hawthorn need him, da-da-da. Then he came up with his back. The only time really last year his back was to the wall was against Collingwood at the MCG in front of 90,000. He got the 3 Brownlow votes. He had like 30 touches and kicked 3. Remember, he absolutely went off his rocket.
Yeah.
I can see Jack Ginnivan, went back to the twos last week, kicked 4, had 20-odd. Giving Mitch, not an up yours to Mitch, because obviously they work well together.
Yeah,
but I can see him, he's playing for his position, hasn't had to do that probably for 12 to 18, 2 years probably.
It's
now go time, and I reckon he could kick 4.
He's the classic dropped bounce back player, isn't he?
Well, you think you're undroppable.
Yeah.
Like, I'm Jack Ginnivan,
I reckon
every 1 in 5 kids, I'm their favourite player at the club.
every
And then
2
done.
years Jack Ginnivan's going to get dropped.
Yeah.
And come back
But I
and
must say, I was
and
pretty
spark.
thrilled to see that he went bang, bang in the twos.
Yeah.
But that's a huge
yeah.
game.
Timing. Just Huswaite's playing, I reckon I got a text.
Did you?
How bad is this going to be for West Coast?
I saw the line's 58 points. I think that's...
You've
probably
been
about
talking about the 100-point loss that you think is coming.
I don't think the forward line's there for Hawthorn to do that.
You don't think they can
Nah.
put up that much?
No, I don't.
You don't think Marbior's going to kick 9?
It's 55.5, and I tell you what, the West Coast won't get within 10 goals.
Yeah, I've gone the
Yeah.
10 plus.
Yeah,
I think in my
for you.
multi later
Yeah, you
we'll talk
have.
about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so is that it?
But
Is
Hawthorn
that all
need a
the
bounce.
games?
Hawthorn need a
think so.
bounce.
They do need it.
Sam Mitchell will have them wound up, and
They
they
need
need to absolutely put their foot on the throat. And Elijah Hewitt and those guys who had good games last week, I think they're about to run into like a Dylan Moore and those guys who are going to be absolutely
They need to
frothing.
bully somebody.
I think so.
Hardball bets time. This is exciting.
Now, you need to present it with a bit of gusto, gentlemen.
Okay, go.
Okay,
Go.
you go.
Hold on. Let me do the bit first. It's time for this week's hardball bets. Place a same-game multi with TABtouch, boost your odds, and combine up to 16 legs with a single game into one bet. And you can find each of our multis that we're about to let you know about under trending bets for that game's market on the TABtouch app. Okay, do you want to take us away, Nick?
All right, picture this,
Same.
gentlemen. I'm back in Lakes Entrance.
Oh, okay.
I'm at the local pub, the Central Hotel. It's a Saturday night. The disco's humming. I've caught eyes with a young girl. She's wandered over. A bit older than me too. A bit more mature than me.
Got
I
Mrs.
must
Robinson
say.
vibe going.
Yeah, right.
And she's handed me a book, and it's a Kama Sutra book. And I say, "Wow, this could get a bit fruity.
Things are about to get weird.
This is going to get really weird and really, really wild." And I say, "No, that's not me. I'm the missionary man. I am the missionary man." So it's going to be a missionary same day. Yes, I've said no to the Kama Sutra.
That was a pivot.
Yeah,
Turn it down.
I said no.
I don't think you have the flexibility.
No, don't. Your knee's too sore. So let's go. All right, let's go to Canberra. The Giants v the Western Bulldogs. Now, this I think, and of course, always gamble responsibly, and you lose more than you win certainly. But I really like this. Riley Sanders, 20 disposals. He's in the form of his life at the moment. Riley Sanders. I think he's
flying.
He's broken the back of that. Josh Kelly, I think he's having a good season. 20 disposals. He needed to find more footy last week and get it going forward. Finn Callahan, 25 disposals. Finn's going to have the breakout year, and Tom Green. So I've really gone the
Tom
three.
Green, the king of
Tom Green,
Canberra.
30.
Tom Green, the king of 30 disposals, the king of Canberra,
Yeah.
because they've got the Tom Green teams,
do.
of course.
Yeah.
They love him.
So that's just your $4.40. Nothing.
Very safe.
Safe.
So the list is here, and you are easily
Safest.
the safest of the week.
Yeah.
Normally it's the other way around.
I'm in a drought.
Go
I've
for it.
just got to try and find something.
Sometimes you got to go safe. All right, Nick, do your thing.
All right, we'll go with Chad Warner here. So on the glitter strip, having just signed off and got a lot more cash in his back pocket He's going to bounce back and have 25 disposals against Gold Coast. Gold Coast is still going to win at the line, which is 13.5.
Yeah.
Jed Walters is going to pop up and score a goal.
Has
and then
Jed Walters' season been okay this year?
been okay.
Okay.
Did just okay.
Just.
Right.
There was that one, the Adelaide game, he was unreal.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it's just been
Okay.
And then Noah Anderson's going to pop up, captain's game, and pop through a goal himself. $13.
Does love a goal at home.
He
Jeez,
does love a goal.
I
at
hope
home.
the weather's good. Not dewy,
Well,
not shit, not wet. It was rain last night.
It was pissing down last night.
I saw that.
And the Bronx got up. You beauty.
Okay, that's $13.
$13.
It's a little bit of fruit
Come on.
there.
How's that
A little
$13?
bit of- I know. I keep looking at it, going, "What's going on here? Is it the line?"
Nick's got the Kama Sutra book.
I
He's
got a bit of fruit.
Page 74.
I think Chad Warner's line's often less than that. So that's
Yeah,
obviously
Chad
the
doesn't
best.
rack it up typically.
Yeah, no, Chad was probably the one there that got us up to 13.
Okay. All right, and I've gone the Hawthorn West Coast game. I'm somewhere in between here because I've gone Hawthorn to win by 60 or more.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably the safest part of this multi.
Yeah.
Nick Watson to kick 2 goals
The Wiz,
or more.
he
I
needs
just
to
can't
bounce.
see who plays on him.
He also needs to bounce a little bit. Well, Brady Hoff probably go to him.
Hoff's going to have his hands
Full.
So I'm just hoping Nick gets in the fun at the
But
end
also
there.
he'll get it too high at the top of the goal square or something.
He'll get one-
So
at least
yeah,
one.
one of them.
And Elijah Hewitt, who was fantastic in the second half last week. I think he
Yeah.
plays midfield with Tim Kelly out. So I think he's going to play predominantly midfield the whole game.
Right.
And all he's going to do is get to 20. Now, this is paying $7.50.
This is fruity for you.
Hawthorn,
Are you
60
all
or
right?
more.
Yeah,
Nick
what's
Watson,
going
2
on?
goals.
He's got him a bit
Elijah
giddy.
Hewitt, 20 plus.
Couple of guns are gone off, and
Hey.
it's just got him absolutely going.
I'm ready to go. And that is us for the weekend. So, got the touch? Download the TABtouch app today. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, visit gamblinghelponline.org.au.
And this has been the Hardball Gets AFL show for this Friday. We'll see you back here on Monday. Monday, assuming there's no more public holidays or anything.
No, we're back.
The
We're
2-minute
back.
warning. We'll see you back on Monday. Catch you then.